Hey guys, okay, welcome to this super short training on you do have money that you probably don't know about. So we're going to go through this. This is probably only about 20 slides or so. So stick with me to the end. Let's see. There we go. All right. I'm going to show you how much money you have available to you right this moment. And in this moment, I mean as you move throughout your life. And we're going to find through this an extra $5,000 to $15,000 a year that's flowing straight through your fingers. Uh, when you're committed to something, you do whatever it takes to bring that commitment to fruition. And sometimes that means doing without a few creature comforts. And you will really be surprised what you can live without for a short time in order to reach your goals. Okay, what you need to get the most out of this training, and I'm really not kidding here, you need something to write with. You need something to write on, and you need to be completely honest with yourself because this is for you. This kind of money training is a lot like the values training if you've ever gone through it. If you aren't honest with yourself, who else is going to see it anyway? This is for you. Your habits are never going to change. You must have an open mind and you have to have an ability to adapt to your personal life. What I'm going to go through is kind of a base from where I was at a certain point in my life. So, and I actually did find, I found, I think it was $17,500 a year doing this. All right, so let's go, guys. Our addictions and our instant gratification habits cost a lot, and I mean a lot. And this is for smokers. Now, you may have another vice that you do. We'll get to alcohol in a minute, but we're going to do just smoking a pack a day at $6 a pack. And we all know that cigarette packs are more than $6 typically. So these numbers are very conservative. That is $180 a month and $2,160 a year. That is $2,160 a year at $6 a pack, one pack a day. So if you're a smoker, make the adjustments on your paper for however much you smoke, and you know what you smoke, so be honest with yourself. And just write down, how many you smoke a day, so we can move forward and you do your numbers in a minute. All right, drinkers. And this is even for non-drinkers. If you drink, and again, very conservative, if you drink one beer a day at $1 a beer, who drinks only one beer a day? That's $30 a month, which is $365 a year. Now, look, be honest, because I'm not a drinker, and I know for sure that this house spends more than $365 a year in wine and liquor. I don't do beer or cigarettes, but I do cigars, and there is liquor that flows through here. Candy and soda. Now, it's not good for you anyway, but check this out. Research says families usually spend about $30 a week on candy, soda, and chips. You can completely cut that out, and not only will you save, what is it? Oh yeah, we're doing it for ours at $10 a week. But if it was $30 a week, I mean, not only will you save that $30 a week, you're going to be healthier. You don't need that crap. It's so bad for you. That's $40 a month, $540 a year just in candy and soda if we're going on $10 a week. Going to the movies. Now, I'm not against going to the movies, but watch the numbers. People usually go to the movies up to 8 times a month. That just blows my mind, especially in the summer when action season comes around. That's the time I go to the movies. I don't do chick flicks. For this, we're going to use 3 times a month because that's what I was doing. For two, now adjust your numbers for wherever you live. I know that theaters and whatnot can cost more or less, but for two, on average, to go to the movie, get your popcorn and all that stuff is going to be about $50 a visit. That's $150 a month, $1,800 a year in movies, and I bet you can't even list off, more than 5 that you saw in the last year that you remember seeing at the theater. All right, hold on. We're gonna back up one. So make sure you write this down. Keep track of how many times you go a month, or average it out by the quarter and write it down. for that category. All right, I'm going out to eat. Most families go out to eat once a week. Mom doesn't want to cook, you just want to get out, whatever the reason is. Now, the average expenditure for dinner, drinks, and tip for one person is 30 bucks. Depending on your level of restaurant, sometimes it's $75, sometimes it's 150, sometimes it's 15. Adjust for your lifestyle. Now, using it on just one person at 30 bucks a week is $120 a month, and that is 1,440 a year just spent on restaurants. Driving just for kicks. Now, this was one of the things, we'll do this because it's the least expensive thing to spend money on to actually go out and do and see things and kind of just drive. But just to give you an idea of how much it costs, at $3 a gallon, say 30 miles a gallon to in your car, 200 miles a month, 67 a month, that's 800 bucks a year. If you just, stayed home, did whatever, you could save 800 bucks a year just. And at 200 miles a month, I mean, come on. I can drive 200 miles in a day. All right, spending money on stuff you don't need. This one was a biggie for my mom. She just loves to go to Hobby Lobby and get all this, and it's, a buck here and a buck there, but it adds up. And she was spending well over 50 a week on stuff you just didn't need. And back in the day when my kid was little, my God, I could spend hundreds of dollars a week on just crap that we didn't need. Toys, kids don't. You want a rattle for the baby? Go get a toilet paper roll, put 2 quarters in it, tape the ends, and give the baby that. They aren't going to care. It makes noise. They're happy with it. So that's 200 bucks a month, 2,400 a year. Even if you say you spend 200 bucks a week on stuff you don't need. If you cut that back, cut 50 off of that, you're saved $2,400 a year. Now, parties. I didn't page this out, so let's read through it. Let's pretend that you don't party or have kids that have parties or weddings or baby showers, birthday parties, and let's say 30 bucks a quarter every 3 months. That's 120 bucks a year. Now, listen, seriously, be real. Most people spend about 100 bucks a month on parties for various reasons. I mean, whatever you threw in for beer, you're buying extra presents, you want to bring something for the kid, you bought an extra shirt just because you didn't want to wear what you had in your closet. And, that's closer to $1,200 a year. But for our class, we're going to do it at 120 a year for parties, which I think is hilarious. I can spend 120 on one party. Vacations, and now this one will get you. Annual vacations are about 4,800 bucks. For me, and I'm not even kidding here, going to a Renaissance fair for one weekend ran me, what was the number? It was like $7,200. I had a problem. The monthly savings or paying off the credit card for the vacation is right at $400 for that. In this category, please do include amusement parks, water parks, seeing sites, museums, renting fairs. I don't care. Whatever happens where you go on vacation or you go have fun doing anything like that, included in this. You're trying to get a read on how much money is going out of you that is not absolutely necessary for life. Okay, and these are interesting because these are things that you could just cut back a little bit on. Get a lighter satellite package, and yeah, I did check. It's about $300 savings a year. For some people that doesn't seem like it's worth it, but that's $300 a year in ad spend, and you're probably not using those channels anyway. Lower your internet speed. Now, I'm out here, and I'm not even kidding, with 1.5 download. Now, the upload is just ridiculous. If you drop it down to 10 meg, and even if you're only saving 10 bucks a month, that's still 120 bucks a year, and I assure you that at 10 meg a month, you'll do fine. Now, this is something we learned through one of Dr. DeMartini's facilitators. Her name was Perry Sean. Really like that woman. She buys name brand clothes at like 90% discounts, and then she uses them, and then she'll resell them for more than she paid, and then she, will have made money and then buys more clothes. Or you can downgrade if that's not feasible. Downgrade. Go get some Goodwill stuff. They have the greatest stuff, especially when you go into the nicer neighborhood Goodwill. My God, I mean, you can get some great stuff. I've had massively brand new name brand stuff come out of Goodwill for 5% of what I would have paid. Again, I saved about $2,000 a year by downgrading. Imagine what I could be making when I actually switched to upgrading. I just need to get with you, Carol. You're the one that teaches how to do this. Okay, what we just went over, just that, is just under 15 grand a year. $15,000 a year could be just flowing through your hands. And for some of you, it's probably a lot more if you take into consideration how many people you spend that money for and how often you spend it. Okay, look, guys, ads, they cost money. If you say you only have 10 bucks a week for an ad budget and you take part in anything we just covered, how strong is your commitment? Really? If you sell plasma to have extra ad spend, use all your resources. But wait, there's more. This is your bonus advice, and the first thing I will say is I am not a financial advisor. This is my personal experience only, but it is really solid advice. You need to keep records of every single dime that goes through your hands. And I mean, even the cash. I even write down the cash in the register and I take it off my total in the bank just to keep track of it. You treat your credit card like your bank card. You pay it off every month. You do not ever carry a balance on your credit card if you can possibly help it. Now, keep in mind that I'm balancing that with, whoever has gone all in with AWOL and, they've taken out a loan on their credit card and they need to pay that off. Well, I've just given you a way to do that in about a year. Uh, Everything you do, you must write it down. And the way that I do this, and I promise you guys, this is amazing. Spend 27 at Walmart. Write down the 27, but take 30 off your total. If you spend 54 at the mall, take 60 off the checkbook register. And I always round up. I mean, if I spend $3, I take 10 off. I always round it up to the closest 10 to take off. And I have saved between $2,000 and $7,000 a year just doing that. Okay, guys, gonna wrap this up. It really is worth living without a few creature comforts for a year or two in order to gain a lifetime of freedom. We already live in a first world country. You're really not missing that much. Just a few creature comforts and parties. How bad do you want this? What are you actually willing to sacrifice? And even if you borrow the money to accomplish your dreams, you can just about pay it back inside a year by committing your being into this venture. All right. Uh, Now, for this exercise, and I hope I didn't go too fast for you guys. You could just have jotted down your numbers and do your own totals. There's no need to cut out everything in life that's fun. I mean, that would be totally not fun, and I probably wouldn't support that, at least for me. Just consider cutting back on creature comforts and extra jazz in your life, and you know what you can do without, and what you're willing to sacrifice to make your dreams come true.